Hello and welcome to this custom battle for Total War Warhammer 2. This is going to be a siege battle of the High Elves versus the Dark Elves. Tyrion versus Malekith. So we're giving Malekith a fairly strong army of bleak swords, dread spears, black arc corsairs, pretty much all his good stuff. No hero units for either side. I've decided to keep those out of this fight so we could get more regular units in. We've given himself a pretty strong army as well, so I'd say, as you can see, it's a fairly balanced matchup, although we do have the advantage that we're going to be within the city defending it, and we've chosen the Eagle Gate map. So it's given us a warning that this could affect our performance because there's a lot of units in this fight, and it is set on Ultra. But hopefully we'll be okay. This is the first siege battle that I'm fighting in Warhammer 2, so I'm quite looking forward to it. Okay, and here we are. So this is, I believe, a special type of siege map for the High Elves. It's actually present on the campaign map. So let's take a quick look around this map, because the battle maps in Warhammer 2 just look fantastic. You can see the road leading out on a bridge in the background. You've got a lovely little lake and docks down here with a statue. Another road going over this way with some, looks like a little bit of farmland over here. It really does set the scene. You can see a kind of, is that a castle with some kind of swirly smoke coming out of it? Some lovely rainbows. So the enemy are going to have to approach along two sides, and it looks like they're going to push their battering rams up on the right, and you can see they have a War Hydra here. I really love the War Hydra unit. One of the best looking units in the game. We'll come and have a close look at their units in a moment. So you got the lovely falls here. And then the steps leading up to the gate itself. I love these little details here, the water running through, steps leading down. And you got this lovely statue in the middle. It's just a great map. So I'm really curious to see what the other settlements look like for the other races in the game. Okay, let's set up. So let's just push everyone back here for the moment. And it looks like we're going to have two battering rams coming up at this gate, and on this side we've got the siege towers. Well, let's just have a look at this while we're here. It's quite a neat little feature. So we've got the siege towers coming up at this wall, so we're going to need really good infantry on this wall. So what we're probably going to do is we're going to put our Sea Guard, because these are missile and spear infantry. So these guys can help us defend the wall and of course shoot down from the wall.
Will be done.
So we'll load up these guys over here, and we'll back them up with a unit of lightly armoured archers. Gives us some good range, some good attack. Let's put everyone on guard mode while we're here, before we forget that. Now, they're not going to be able to approach this wall, so we're not going to have to worry too much about that area there. So we'll probably put our other Sea Guard. Question is, do we want our Sea Guard on this wall? Let's look at their stats. They've got a range of 165, missile damage of 20. These 180 though, so it might be better off putting these guys on the wall. They could attempt to climb the wall here, that's my only concern. So we'll probably stick our other Sea Guard up on this wall, because these guys are good in a straight up fight as well as good at range. And then we'll get a bit more ranged up there with some more armoured archers. And maybe put a couple, we'll probably put some up here, so if they do break through the gate they can shoot straight down onto them. and the same over here. I've got a feeling they're going to send that Hydra straight for the gate. So to counter that, we're going to have to get our Phoenix Guard. So they're going to form our backbone at that gate, and they'll also form our backbone at this gate. I'm not as concerned over here. So we're going to back up our guys with a couple of units of great swords. There's a couple on this side as well. Now we're going to expect a lot of infantry coming over this side. So I might put a couple of these guys up on the wall to help deal with those.
As you say.
Okay, so we've got one unit of white lions. I thought I selected two of these guys, but okay, we've got one. So we'll probably put them over on this flank, I think.
The king has spoken and we obey.
Now we've got some cavalry, but we're going to have to keep those back for now. We've got 2 units of silver helms, and then we've got some dragon princes who will hold in reserve just back here. So what I am going to do though is I'm going to get some of these archer units and I'll position them strategically along some of these areas, so if they do get up on the walls we can shoot straight at them.
It shall be done. Archers, rain death on the enemy. Orders received. Archers, our defenses will hold.
There we go.
Our firepower.
Okay, so now we've forgotten. Okay, we've got Eagle Claw bolt throwers, so we'll probably put these guys just back here. Go and put these on multi-shot. Hopefully they'll be able to fire over the wall. And we've got Tyrion himself. Could just put him in the middle so we can keep an eye on things, but we'll probably put him more over on this flank just to support our troops there. We've got a lot of spearmen, so we'll probably use these to back up our units over here. Okay, Tyrion, go back where I wanted you to. There you go.
We will obey.
So that should be about it. We're pretty well balanced over here. Okay, let's take a quick look at what the enemy has. So we can see they have battering rams. Very lovely designed battering rams. And they're using their shielded units to push that up. As you can already see, we have the Hydra, which is always worth looking at because it's such a fantastic unit. We've got significant range. So that could be a problem. Got some witch elves, executioners, more shielded units, Cold One cavalry, a lot of bleak swords leading the charge. Question is, where is Malekith? Look at these towers, very extravagant, very dangerous. Now where is the man himself? The man of the hour, here he is. Looking very fancy. Okay, so how many of these are going to be in range? That's the range of our archer units. So let's begin. See, our towers are being occupied and we've begun firing down onto the enemy. Okay, they're using their artillery to fire on the walls. Taking a few hits over here. It's not too bad yet. See now, our own artillery beginning to fire. Okay, over on this flank, arch fire is beginning to come down. See that Hydra pushing up towards the gate as well. Okay, and that's where we're really opening up on them now. See the wall's taking a little bit of damage there. Okay, that tower has just collapsed, that's good for us. But these two look like they're going to make the wall. Nope, that one has gone down. But this one is going to reach it. Okay, so we'll stay over at this gate for a moment. We want to see that siege tower open. They're going to be running into some of our best troops here. Of course, now they've got a foothold on the wall, they will try and reinforce it. As we can see, the Hydra is going for the gate. Okay, they brought up a little bit more support over on this side now with their range. Okay, the gatehouse is holding pretty strong, which is good. The bulk of their army is out of range though, that's a problem. So the Sea Guard is doing well, but they're starting to bring up some Blackguard of Nagaron. Malekith is taking a lot of fire though. Those archers behind the walls, that extra range is doing a great job. And they just look like they try to hit us with a wind spell, but most of these guys should pick themselves up. Okay, they're starting to move up now. So we're going to get these Sword Masters in, just to back up that Sea Guard. There's a lot of ranged fire being exchanged over on this side. And they're not bringing up their battering rams yet because they're waiting for this Hydra to smash through, and it will do very shortly. But when it does, we've got some archers to target it as well, and we've got those lovely Phoenix Guard in the way. So the bulk of the infantry is staying out of the fight at the moment. We can't really hit it down there. But holding them in reserve isn't going to do it much good. It's starting to break through a little here. But we've got extra ranged fire coming in. This is a great thing about the High Elves. That range on those archers is so damaging. Okay, our gates are destroyed. So in comes the Hydra. I'm not quite sure if they're really going to be able to brace for this. Shall we just charge them? We're getting a lot of ranged fire in on it. Let's not let it charge us. Let's try and plug that gap if we can. There's a lot of arrow fire hitting it. Okay, they've got some shielded units coming in to back it up now. Okay, it really just punched a hole there. But you can see it's already starting to break. Those guys are doing a great job, especially with that extra range fire coming in. They're starting to pour in through the gate though, that's something we've got to watch out for. Now imagine these units are not going to be held in reserve for long. We're still holding the wall here. Malekith is still hanging back. A couple of them have actually routed into the city, so we need to watch out for that because we don't want them swinging around and trying to capture our point. So we're actually holding a lot easier than I expected to here.
It will be done.
Shall we send out Dragon Princes to chase down that Hydra?
We are invincible!
Okay, their infantry are now starting to push it through the gate. But they're meeting those Phoenix Guard. And they're getting a lot of arrow fire. So we might actually just back these guys off a little so our archers can shoot down on them.
Defenders of all one.
There we go. It's turning into a kill zone now. You can see we're shooting down on them from above as well.
Look out! Loyal! Enemy spell! Assyrian guides us! Our enemies fear
Yeah, you set up a kill box with these archers and they will just tear it up. I mean, this flank has completely collapsed. Okay, is Malekith going to come up and attack? Okay, that's not good for us. They just activated Murderous Prowess. But we do outnumber them.
As you say.
We're pushing them back here. Okay, ammunition counts. Still doing okay on that front.
Swordmaster of Hoeth!
Okay.
We will obey! Gods protect us! March! Gods help us! Weapons ready! Rain death!
There we go. Set up a nice little kill zone.
Swordmaster of Hoeth.
Okay, our swordmasters are doing a great job up on that wall. Where did Malekith go? That's the question. Oh, he has entered the fray. He's coming in. So I think we're going to get Tyrion up to deal with him. Okay, they've still got a lot of units in reserve. I'm surprised they haven't tried moving them up yet.
Defenses will hold!
Swordmaster of Hoeth.
I might try moving those guys out of the way. Okay, just hit us with a wind spell of some description.
Eager for battle. To battle.
Okay. Don't go anywhere, Malekith. You two really need to go at it. Looks like he's going to try and join with us. Oh no, he's coming down the wall. Because he's running.
We will obey!
Okay, let's get our Phoenix Guard up there to deal with those.
Swordmaster.
Bring our Swordmasters back as well. I think they're already broken. Okay, they're starting to bring up some of their reserve units, but I think it's too little too late now. They should have brought these up earlier in the fight, they might have had more of a chance. Still, those executioners are probably going to be difficult to take out. But we have such a nice kill box set up here.
Loyal. The enemy. Assert forward. Archers. It will be done.
Okay, ammunition is starting to drop for all of these units though. Okay, those great swords have gone out of control. And they're starting to get desperate. They're bringing up some of their ranged units. Okay, they've been throwing some of their cavalry in. That's not going to do them any good. And that is it. The rest of the units are broken. None of these units even tried to engage. This is a pretty tough map to attack though. There's only two small areas you can go for because of this chasm in the centre. So probably should have maybe given them an extra army. But even then it would have been really tough breaking through those units. And that range on those archers, because you can have them behind the wall shooting over the wall as well and up onto the wall. So I'm not sure where Malekith went. I think he just legged it off the map. So it's a little easier than I was expecting. I'm considering it said it was 50-50, but I guess we did have the advantage of the position. And this is a very powerful position to be in on this map. And what an impressive looking map it is. You see, we're still shooting down on them and trying to retreat. Performance wise, that held up really well considering it was a 240 v40 units on a siege map. So I'm quite pleased with that. And it was a pretty fun battle, even if it ended up being a little more one-sided than I was expecting. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this siege battle video. We'll probably try and make it a little more tougher for ourselves next time, I think. But it was good to see this map and good to use the High Elves in action. Because I've only had one short quest battle with them and they do have some pretty strong units. So I hope you enjoyed it and I will see you next time. Actually, before we go, we're going to have a quick look at our unit stats. So these guys didn't actually do anything because they didn't need to, but look at these guys, 366, 105, that Phoenix Guard. So all in all, these guys didn't actually do massive damage for each individual unit, but each unit did a good number of damage, 83, 40, 99, 77, 50, 114, you know, it all adds up. So yeah, pretty enjoyable battle, and we'll leave it there and I'll see you in the next one.